If you've ever placed a sports bet, you totally know the feeling, right? It's that mix of hope, gut instinct, and, let's be honest, a lot of frustration. The thing is, most people are betting with their heart. They're chasing hot tips or trying to win back what they've lost. But what if you could just take emotion out of the equation completely? Well, in this explainer, we're going to break down a totally different way of thinking, one that's all about cold, hard math.
And this, right here, gets to the absolute heart of the problem. You see, the sports market isn't just a game. It's a really complex financial ecosystem run by professionals. And in that system, just going with your gut feeling is pretty much a guaranteed way to lose money over the long run. So what we're going to do is deconstruct a piece of software that treats sports betting like a hedge fund, replacing all that emotional guesswork with what it calls data stability.
This contrast really sets up our whole story, the gambler versus the architect. You know the gambler, they rely on feelings, on luck. But the architect, they work from a blueprint. The software we're looking at today is the architect's tool. It's designed to build profit systematically, piece by piece, instead of just hoping for some lucky break.
And wow, when you put them side by side, the contrast couldn't be more stark. On the left, you've got the traditional way. It's emotional, it's reactive, and it's full of human error. But on the right, you have the bot's way of doing things. Pure mathematical logic, a laser focus on long-term stability, and just cold, hard automation. It's a massive shift from chaos to disciplined, transparent logic.
Okay, so how does it all actually work under the hood? Because this isn't just some fancy idea, it's a real, fully automated system that's running right now. So let's get into the architecture and see how this thing is built. We're going inside the dual engine pipeline.
So at the very top, you've got this automated Python pipeline that's constantly scraping global data every single day. That raw data then gets fed into two highly specialized engines. Think of them as two different brains. You've got a basketball engine that's all about decade-long macro trends, and a soccer engine that focuses on mathematical cluster analysis. Whatever they find gets delivered straight to a live dashboard, with absolutely zero emotional bias getting in the way.
So what does this system do day in and day out? Well, it follows this super simple three-step automated process. First, it scrapes. It pulls in all the global odds and market data. Then, it simulates. Its two engines process all that data based on their historical models. And finally, if it finds any little inefficiencies, what it calls value gaps, it instantly publishes them to the user's dashboard. The whole point here is to have a process with zero human error and zero emotional bias, just pure cold execution.
Okay, now we're going to get into the really cool part, the core logic that drives this entire system. We're going to look at the specific rules that make each of these two engines so powerful, starting with something called the decade rule.
So, Engine 1, the basketball filter, it doesn't care who's hot this week or who had a great game last night. Nope, it's analyzing data from major leagues all over the world to find these huge macro trends that have been profitable for an entire decade. Its main metric is something called 10-year rolling cluster stability, which is a fancy way of saying it's looking for patterns that have proven to be stable and profitable year after year after year.
And this brings us to that decade rule. And let me tell you, it is brutally simple and totally non-negotiable. A potential betting strategy is only even considered if it was profitable in more than half of the last 10 seasons. If it doesn't pass that test, it's immediately thrown out. This whole system is designed to only bet on patterns that have a proven, decade-long track record of stability. And the result of that incredibly strict filter? A verified backtest of over 1,028 units of profit. See, this isn't about hitting a few lucky shots. It's about compounding small, consistent wins through a process that's been validated by math.
All right, now for the second engine, the soccer matrix. This model takes a totally different approach. It runs a 5-season analysis across 36 top-tier leagues around the world. Its whole job is to categorize every single match into one of 16 specific algorithmic clusters, based entirely on the odds for a home win, a draw, or an away win. And this shows you its core strategy. The soccer bot isn't trying to predict who's going to win, not at all. It's hunting for what it calls value gaps. These pop up when everyone's attention is on one outcome, which causes the bookmakers to slightly misprice the odds on other outcomes. The bot is designed to sniff out these tiny pricing errors and only make a move when the math shows a clear advantage.
So, we've seen all the amazing logic working in the background, but how does a user actually get their hands on this information? Let's take a look at the user experience, what the system calls the Premium Command Center.
The user interface is really built around one thing: transparency. You get a live feed of the system's picks, sure, but way more importantly, you get to see the why behind them.
The dashboard shows you the bot's entire strategic philosophy, a full historical record of its performance, and even the exact mathematical rules it's using. The whole idea is to give you complete visibility into the entire process.
You know, when it comes down to it, the whole philosophy is captured right here. This isn't about tips or hunches. It's a system built from the ground up to eliminate the two main things that cause most people to lose money: human error and emotional bias.
What all of this is really pointing to is a fundamental change in how you even think about this activity. It's about making a shift, moving from the unpredictable world of gambling to the methodical world of data-driven investing in sports markets.
And really, that just leaves us with one final question for you. If you're tired of that emotional roller coaster that comes with betting, and you're ready to move from just gut feelings to a genuine, data-driven edge, well, isn't it time to let the math do the talking?